On this episode, we've created a fun and imaginative summer guide with each letter standing for a magical activity or idea to help you have the best Disney summer ever. Today's June 20th, 2025, and this is episode 782 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys! Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Well, hello, summer. It's hot, it's raining, and it is summer.
Yeah, well, it's been summer here for a while then, if that's the case. If we're only going by hot and rainy, then it has been summer in Florida since I moved here 20 years ago. But no, actually, funny enough, the summer solstice officially starts tonight at 10:42 p.m.
Yay.
June 20th. So,
and I feel like it's summer. We just took like Kaylin's senior photos, and that's done in the summer. Oh my goodness, y'all.
Yeah,
cap and gown.
Yeah,
that
that's
got
crazy.
Me.
I mean, here in Florida, we get out a lot earlier, I feel like, for summer, for schools, end of May. I know up north a lot of times it's early June, but by now, June 20th, the official start of summer, everybody should be out of school.
Uh-huh.
So what we are going to do, we're going to have a little fun, and we're going to tell you how to spend this summer with Disney. Is that a good way to put it? Summer with Disney, because there's 104 days of summer vacation.
Yeah.
And then school comes along just to end it.
And summer, S-U-M-M-E-R.
We are. So we're going to break it down. We got 6 different sections. We're going to talk about celebrating summer with Disney. And this is going to be broken down into S for Splash Into the Parks, U for an unforgettable summer soundtrack, M for Magic at Home, another M for a movie marathon, but it's a summer edition, E, exploring the world, and R, reimagining. Nice. So that's what we're going to go through. So you want to start off with our S, Splash Into the Parks?
Yes. And if you want to beat the heat with parks tips and tricks, we can go back to episode 773. But,
Yeah, we cover every little detail there. But if we were going to talk real quick about, because when you're in the parks during the summer, I mean, it's god awful hot.
It is. And I just heard to say, some of the rides would be fun is like Tiana's, Pirates, Frozen, because all these you can get wet on.
Yeah. And what's great with these 3 to start, I mean, short of Tiana's, which does have some outdoor portions, Pirates and Frozen, not only do you get some reprieve with a little splash of water, but you get the AC
and the indoor queue.
You get indoor queue. Mostly. Now, Frozen Ever After is going to stretch outside of that queue. If
it's a longer wait, at least
it hasn't been as bad. I feel like I don't know if they readjusted the indoor queue to somehow take more people.
Well, I was going to say.
But the same wait times don't appear to show the same lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because once you get inside, like if you're outside, it's a very long wait. But if you do get inside, I feel like inside you're looking at a 60-minute, maybe a little longer wait. Could possibly be around 45 to 60. But again, it's
a lot of time to cool off.
It's great.
Yeah, so those are the types of things that you want to look for, because this summer, there's been a lot of data coming out. We see all these deals that are coming out. I think a lot of people want to say, well, Disney's doing different things like, special low resort rates. And, they're doing a lot of these things to battle Epic Universe. And certainly that's going to be part of it.
Right.
Another part of it is the simple fact that summer, it's down. Like right now, travel, everything's down. you know, and so we're kind of in an uncertain economic time, all of that. I don't think many people are traveling this summer as they usually are. So I do think that even though Florida and Disney World is god-awful hot in the summer.
I know people don't understand how we
You should go.
I agree.
If you can, you know, I mean, again, kids are off. It's a good time usually for parents to take some sort of vacation time. Again, the prices are better than we have seen probably on resort rooms since pre-COVID. You've got free dining. You've got, you know, a check-in day with the water park. Like you have all of these things coming. And even though today's the first day of summer, guess what? You can still book a summer trip.
Absolutely.
Right? So
100%.
go ahead and contact Amy with MEI Travel. Get that summer trip booked. It's not too late. If you really, really want to get wet and cool off, you just ride Cali River Rapids.
Yeah, and then don't duck. Just get wet.
We tried to play it last time, right? We tried to game the system last time we tried.
But we tried to duck and try not to get too wet.
Didn't work.
Well,
not too much.
I felt like it did. If you wouldn't have ducked, you'd have been a lot more wet than you
No, this
were.
is true. My back got most of it. Because here's the thing, all right? When you duck and some of that water is shooting at you from some of those things, what it's going to do is hit the back of your seat, and it's just going to ricochet all over your back.
That's okay.
So it does save your front, but that's a great one. Let's talk about AC and shade. Shade is not something that Disney is particularly known for.
Right.
Right? I mean, looks like, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, pretty much all of them. You know, Toy Story Land, has always been the biggest complaint. They finally, I think it took 3 years, and they finally finished the Woody's Lunchbox outdoor seating area that is now covered.
Yeah.
Right? So they're not really known for shade. Obviously, they're known for the air conditioning. So what we did is we thought we would break down each of the 4 parks in Disney Springs. We're going to give you one recommendation for an attraction or like a show, and we're going to give you one recommendation for a dining break based on what we think are some of the best places to catch some AC. Also a nap for the first one at Magic Kingdom. Let's hit the attraction. Rhonda's napping. She's getting AC. Where are you headed to?
And I'm enjoying the music because it's so soothing. Carousel of Progress. Yeah. I love it. And then if I'm not tired and I can watch it, I love watching it.
20 minutes
of
glorious, wonderful air conditioning.
Yeah, and then a nap
and seating. That's the great part. You get to sit for this whole thing, right?
Well, you're
it's not
supposed to stay
right,
seated.
but it's not like going. And that's the thing. It's not like going to an attraction like we talked about, Frozen. You say, all right, well, we get inside, we're in the queue. You're not sitting, you're not chilling out,
True.
You're not relaxing.
True.
You are in the AC.
Correct.
You're going to get on a less than 5-minute boat ride, and you're standing right back up.
Yeah.
Now, where's a good place? Which I think. To eat, to take a lunch break, maybe a dinner break, is a place that I bashed for years, and I still will bash what they call a lobster roll. But we ate there for Taste of the Kingdom, and I actually really did enjoy most of their other food.
And we were talking about Columbia Harbor House and upstairs. Yeah. It's just cooler up there and
quiet.
Quiet. Yeah. And I started saying not cooler like temperature wise, but just
But it's
slightly. It is still good.
Yeah.
It's still nice and cool. Like I like looking out the windows, and if you can get one of those seats, and then just kind of people watching / you got Memento Mori right there. You've got Haunted Mansion. It's really cool.
Yeah, and upstairs it tends to be quieter.
Yes, it does.
So you got some quiet space, you got some peace.
Sometimes
you get
there
your
are less
AC.
crowds. They don't want to go up. Yep.
Right, they don't want to go up there. And in all seriousness, it probably is technically a couple degrees cooler upstairs because you don't have constant opening and closing of doors, right? You don't have the influx of a kitchen that is opening out with heat and ovens and all this stuff coming out. You don't have crowds of people, so it definitely can be a bit cooler if you're doing that. Let's move on over to Epcot. And you know what? Let's just knock out everything in one building, right? You can do attractions, several of them. You can dine.
Oh, yeah.
You can relax. You can sit. You can chill. Where are you headed to?
The Land Pavilion.
Yeah.
So obviously you can ride Soarin', you can ride Living with the Land, and then you can eat at Sunshine Seasons. Now, we have eaten amazing snacks and sweet treats and stuff like that, but we have not eaten here. We need to.
Well, we've done once or twice. We've done one of they have like rice type bowls or Asian type bowls. We've done one of those in the past, but we have not eaten there in a long time. We tend to go there for snacks and treats.
Yeah.
To me, you're usually going over to the Land Pavilion specifically to ride Soarin' or Living with the Land.
Correct.
I think Sunshine Seasons becomes greatly underrated because it doesn't doesn't feel like the destination for there. You know what I mean? Everywhere else, like you're like, hey, let's go to this area because of the restaurant. Here you say, let's go to the land. And your first reason isn't because of Sunshine Seasons,
Right.
you know?
Right.
It's because of Awesome Planet. That's the only reason anyone goes
Oh,
there.
that one, yeah.
But again, look, okay, you know, we joke that the land looks like an old mall, right? It looks like the mall that we grew up in. And I don't care where you're from. If you were 45 years old, it looks like the mall you grew up in. That's just how it was. But all joking aside, you get a show with Awesome Planet in here that is nice AC and sitting.
True.
You have Soarin', which again, you know, a wonderful attraction, top tier attraction. A nice relaxing boat ride with Living with the Land.
And you can see all the plants and herbs.
Everything.
That's so exciting.
Right?
Are you so excited? We're doing a garden.
We are working on a garden. We are living with the land.
We are.
Can we put a boat in the backyard?
No.
Oh. Garden Grill is another wonderful spot.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
Along
that.
with Sunshine Seasons. So you got 2 dining spots.
Garden Grill's
You've got
so
2
good, too.
rides, right? You've got bathrooms. You've got seating areas. You have everything you need in this building. You could go to this building. You know, talk about rain, which we're getting right now as well during summer. This is the building you head to at Epcot when the storm is going to set in for an hour or so because you don't have to leave and you can do plenty of stuff.
100%.
All right, let's move over to Hollywood Studios. This one will definitely take up some time, and I think it's way too overlooked.
Yeah, and that's your Walt Disney Presents. This is a walk-through museum and exhibit with seating at the end to watch the Walt Disney Legacy film. And
Although often now they're putting through
sometimes they
previews. Like I think
do different-
Ilios right now is the
that-
preview.
And
Yeah.
then they'll have like really cool things in there. Like sometimes, well, they had for a while Cinderella's, I think, dress. And then
they'll usually do stuff around the movies, around that theater, so you'll get props. Right now we still have the Little Mermaid live action meet and greet.
that was
But
fun.
you will have some stuff that'll rotate through. Just the history of walking through, you know, the Disney company
That's
and
cool.
Walt and Roy. You know, I've talked lately a lot about how much I love models, right?
Yeah.
And things that are small and to scale. And there's tons of those here. You know, some of the international parks, like you get to see his multi-level camera, you know, that they invented basically to do these leveled 2D films, you know,
with
it's
Snow
just,
White, right?
Yeah, with Snow White and
So
all. It's
crazy.
just
It is.
incredible. Like
It is. And it's nice. It's very quiet in there.
very quiet because nobody really goes in there.
Right.
You know? So I think it is a great spot, not only to get out of the hotness and all, but learn about Disney.
Yeah.
You know, not just Walt himself, but the whole company.
100%.
Right down from there, actually, not too far. ABC Commissary, I will say, it's weird because it's always busy.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, the most underrated quick service spot.
Yeah.
Because
Well, 'cause
no
they
one
changed-
talks about
They
it.
changed it and the food's good.
Yeah, the food is outstanding. You know, buffalo chicken, grilled cheese sandwich. They've got wonderful tacos, a Mediterranean salad and bowls and all. This place is constantly busy, so make sure you mobile order. Yet I never hear anyone talk about it. So I think it's a great spot. AC, it's huge. Good spot to relax. Let's move over to Animal Kingdom. It's actually one of 2 shows you can see there. And you're getting a 20 to 30 minute break, right?
Yes. Festival of the Lion King. Or I would say Flight of Passage, probably.
Yeah, you could go ride Flight of Passage. That'd be a good
Because-
attraction if you don't want to do a show.
Right, because Lion King is amazing. It's 30 minutes. It's indoor. It's so cool.
It's seated,
but
not
it's
in
not
any relaxing way
correct.
whatsoever.
So I was going to say,
To be honest, your body will hurt more when you leave Festival of the Lion King.
they are bleacher like
Yeah.
seats that are metal and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
Flight of Passage is a great one.
it is
because
because
you're probably
it's
looking
inside
at,
a lot.
You're
Like,
looking at 60 to 90 minutes indoors
Yeah.
wait.
yeah.
And then a good lengthy ride.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's a good one. What about eating? And
Well,
we'll take this
it's
straight
funny.
from our book when we had the girls.
I would say Nomad Lounge, but at the same time, I would also say if you're going to be over at the Pandora, South Chili Canteen
Sure.
and just sit inside.
Sure.
But I would say Nomad Lounge, if it's not awful, that you could sit outside in the lounge, like, and almost like a couch
It's still a
area.
great reprieve if you're even outdoors
Yeah.
there, because you have shade. You've got, AC that is blowing in from the inside technically when they're opening doors, and then you've got fans and all.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good spot. But if you go inside, I mean, there too, you've got.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's the
inside.
thing is, here's a good relaxing space.
Yeah.
And it's a space I think you can go and you can sit and you can feel comfortable being there for a bit. You can relax. You can talk about your trip already. You can talk about what's left to come. Like, it's just a great spot to chill.
Mm-hmm.
If you join the walk-up list, and if you really want to do this, I know it's stupid to be like, well, as soon as the walk-up list open in the morning, join it.
Yeah.
Well, you might not be ready for a break then, depending on how quick your return time is, but trust me, you're still going to want it.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, too. Sometimes you think, all right, well, we got to go to parks for 6-7 hours, and then we're going to need a break. Not always. Sometimes you need a break before you do things.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's true.
Like, sometimes it's okay to take an early lunch and just relax and go, look, this afternoon is going to be slammed. We got a lot going on. Let's relax now, right?
100%.
All right, let's move on over to Disney Springs. We could spend all day in here, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
World of Disney?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, it's so cool.
Just walk around,
Yeah.
shop. If you really needed that break, you could look at the AMC Dine-In Theater.
Yeah.
You could go see a movie there. How about dining? I mean, honestly, you could rattle off every restaurant here.
100%.
Yeah.
But some of our favorites would be Polite Pig, Homecoming. And
Morimoto Asia. Boathouse Indoors.
I just started to say, and a lot of these indoors, because unfortunately, sometimes it is just too hot to be outside.
Yeah.
Like when you need to just break. Like,
Right.
If you were at a park and you went over to Springs, like, don't sit outside.
Right.
I would sit inside.
100%. Yeah.
So eat
that'll be
some
a perfect
good
break.
homecoming food.
Yep.
Kaylin's so funny. She's been talking about food recently. And when she talks about it, she's talking about like all the comfort food. So I'm like,
Yeah, she's like, can we make beef stroganoff? Like,
Makes
dude,
me-
it's 100 outside.
it makes me think.
Can we
of
make shepherd's
Homecoming.
pie? Can we? What was the other one? She wants stew.
Yeah.
Like a pot roast with carrots and potatoes. I'm like, Kaylin, I can't even walk to the end of the driveway without almost passing out. Why do you want all comfort food? Speaking of food, though, there are some wonderful summer treats, different things you can grab. Just rattle off a couple of our favorites, things that are going to cool you down real well.
Dole Whip.
Of course.
Speaking of Springs, if you're at Springs, go get that. Swirls on the water.
Yeah.
That's very good. They always have something
Yeah,
fun.
they got a special.
Special. Of course, your Mickey bar or ice cream sandwich. My favorite at Animal Kingdom, the Anadapur ice cream truck.
Of course.
Have to.
Of course.
A Night Blossom over at Animal Kingdom. That is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, we talked about those recently.
And a frozen what?
The frozen lemonades? Those are great.
Oh.
Those are great. And what I love about these frozen lemonades, they're Minute Maid. They come in that little frozen cup.
Cup.
I don't know, God. But they're
Yeah.
available in almost every snack cart.
Yeah.
If there's a snack cart with the frozen items, usually if there's a Mickey bar, there's a Mickey ice cream sandwich, there's going to be one of these.
But you know what's even better?
Olaf?
Yep.
Those Olaf popsicles are good.
Y'all, how many did y'all have when y'all were with Tina? Because it was just so refreshing.
It was super refreshing.
And it wasn't like too sweet. It wasn't too like, it's not chocolatey.
Yep.
So it's just a really good. I think y'all ate like 3 or 4 of
At
them.
least. They're so good. I want to get some of those for home. They remind me a little bit. We used to go when we would go up to Myrtle Beach every summer, where my parents ended up retiring to. We went the week after school, and we would stay at Cherry Grove, which is just north of Myrtle Beach, with my mom's family and all. And where we went to the beach out there, you could walk down to a pier, and the pier inside had these frozen like fruit popsicles. And that's what this reminds me of, is we'd walk down there, we'd get one, and we'd walk back to our seat, me, usually Alan, my dad, mom, whatever, and then we'd come back, sit down, we'd enjoy our popsicles, and that's exactly what they remind me of.
That's awesome.
All right, real quick, let's wrap up S. We're talking pools. If you're looking to book that summer trip, midday breaks, going back to the pool, days off are super important that you can
Yes.
spend by the pool. Let's run through our recommended value, our recommended moderate, and our recommended deluxe. And then we'll move on to you.
So a value one is, of course, Art of Animation and Big Blue Pool.
Yeah. Top tier pool.
So great.
No question.
So fun.
Moderate might be a little biased,
Moderate.
but most people will also agree with this, I think.
I think so, which is Coronado Springs
Yeah.
Resort.
Yeah, the Lost Cibola pool.
The what? Called?
Cibola.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I mean, you've got everything there.
That slide's fun.
Yeah, the slide's great. It's such a great, collection area of not only the pool, but the hot tub, the fire pit for the evenings, the arcade, food, a volleyball court, bathrooms, a small kids play area. Like everything is right here, and it's all contained within a fenced area.
Yeah, and the
so
arcade.
I think it's one of the reasons that it makes it so great. You could also go, I think, with Caribbean Beach. What is it? The Los Muertos pool, I think it is there.
Oh, that's
and
a fun one,
They recently
too.
just refinished and redid everything, so it looks really good.
Good.
Deluxe, it just reopened this week after
Yes,
a lengthy 5-month refurbishment. Just in time for summer.
It was closed for
I think it was 5 months. Yeah.
And we're talking yacht and beach.
Yeah,
Stormalong Bay.
Yeah, I mean, you had to close through some great months. That's for sure. You know, these past couple months, you could have taken really good advantage of Stormalong Bay.
Wow. I tell you what, I think if we were staying there and it would have said the pool is closed,
We would change resorts.
I would not stay there.
Oh, 100% we'd change resorts. I love Yacht and Beach Club,
Yeah.
but it's nothing without Stormalong Bay.
I agree.
I think. You know, if you took Yacht and Beach, and this sounds dumb because you could probably do this with anything, but if you took Yacht and Beach and they weren't where they are, and you threw in a regular pool, they're a moderate resort, I think. You know, obviously, you've got to give them the deluxe based on their location, based on the fact that they've got this huge pool, all
Right.
these types of things. They have balconies, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
They're interior. So there are some additional things that are different. But otherwise, amenity-wise, it's the same as a moderate. Backup would be probably Poly, you think? I mean, that's a
Yeah.
whole summer vibe. As
Yeah,
is.
I just started to say probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to you. We have created an unforgettable summer soundtrack. What's even better is if you would like to listen to this soundtrack and go into the notes of the show, and I've created a Spotify playlist. So you can go list. Lasts about 30 minutes. It's not super long. We broke it down into 5 areas, basically, and are giving you 2 songs each. Let's start with Island and Ocean Vibes. What immediately comes to mind?
I know, one of my favorites, Hawaiian Roller Coaster, which is, of course, on Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. It's the perfect summer song.
So good.
Let's be honest.
It
right?
is.
Going along, I think a really good one, you know, not only based on the movie, based on the location, where the movie takes place. They did a live action. We have a ride. I actually think Under the Sea has that summer vibe.
Yeah, because it makes me think of like if we
The
went
Caribbean.
to the Keys and then we went snorkeling and you'd see all the stuff under the sea.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to something. It's kind of that camp vibe, the summer vibe that everybody wants. You could play both of these soundtracks.
Oh yeah, the Team Beach movie thing.
Yeah.
Blah.
Soundtrack. You literally could play
That.
Teen Beach Movie 1 and 2 soundtracks.
Yeah.
And they're the perfect summer soundtracks.
Yeah.
But what song specifically is outstanding? And
Oh,
it can often be
Surf's
heard
Up.
at Typhoon Lagoon. So
Yeah,
it's up.
I love it.
Yeah,
So cool.
outstanding. And then we'll move on. One of my favorite characters of all time.
Summer.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to go with
That
Olaf's
one. Yeah.
version of In Summer. Mm-hmm. Very good one. Park and Fireworks feels, let's be honest, this is year round. You can have this on repeat. It doesn't have to be summer. You can play this anytime.
Happily ever after.
I listened to it earlier today.
You did?
While I was putting together the finalizing.
Did you
these
cry?
notes.
I'm just kidding.
It's
It's
perfect.
just so good.
Yeah, it's so perfect. And to be
So
honest,
good.
it makes up about half of the 30-minute playlist of this because it's lengthy. It's like 15, 17 minutes or whatever. So it does take up some
so
time because there is the
nice.
full-length version. Another one, you know, I think for me, this type of culture, the tiki culture in general, the Polynesian, screams summer.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Tiki Room is kind of perfect for that, right? So you have the
tiki,
Tiki
tiki,
Tiki Room
tiki
song.
room.
Yeah. The Enchanted Birds and everything singing that. Again, it feels like summer. You put that on, you pour yourself a cold beverage and sit outside by the pool. Perfect.
We need a pool.
We do need a pool.
We're going to get one?
No, never. We have a garden.
What?
Let's move on to those upbeat and positive vibe songs. I think these are kind of the ones maybe you're driving around in summer with the windows down, blasting, right? Go the distance
Maybe.
from Hercules?
Yeah.
Come on. These are like those positive
No,
summer
it is
vibes,
good.
right?
I'm not saying it's not.
What's
It's
another
good.
great one?
I really like the Friend Like Me with from Aladdin.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really good one, and either version. So
Yeah, we love the live action version
do.
actually. So, and then we got some bonus tracks. I think "Let's Go Fly a Kite" from Mary Poppins.
yeah,
Right?
it does
Why would
make
you
me
not?
think. I know. Let's go fly
Yeah.
a kite.
Maybe a more fall or spring activity here in Florida, but you see them plenty of times at the beach.
I just started to say we see him at the beach all the time.
Yeah. This is my bonus pick for the last one because to me, it just invokes kind of that summer soul, spirit of New Orleans and Louisiana. Dig a little deeper from Princess and the Frog. That's a Jeremy exclusive.
Okay.
Just for you guys. Go down to the notes and you can go ahead and check out that Spotify playlist. Let's move on to our first M, Magic at Home. How do we bring some of the parks home, Rhonda? We did a lot of this during the lockdowns during COVID. Our whole neighborhood did. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so you can do some chalk and like in your driveway, and we have plenty of that. I do not do it. I don't like it. I can't take.
You can't touch chalk.
I can't.
Did you do it with a glove?
Yeah, I did.
So you don't like
I've
the
done it
physical
before.
touch of your
Yeah,
skin?
I can't. Oh god,
It's not necessarily the chalk on a concrete.
correct.
How about chalkboards? Can you listen to somebody write on a chalkboard
Sure.
with chalk? Okay. You're
Yep.
an odd one. Yeah.
No,
we did.
touching
we did a ton of,
chalk is like
It
nails
is
on a
weird.
chalkboard.
Can you eat Tums?
No,
Because they have
I
that
don't
chalky
eat
feel.
those.
Do you eat the sweet tarts, the little hearts? The ones that taste like chalk and look like chalk? You can touch those during
They're not chalk.
conversation
They're
hearts. That's what I was
sweet.
thinking of. But they have the same feel.
No, they don't.
Conversation hearts
They do not
feel just like chalk.
No, they don't.
All right. You want to have a taste test?
No.
Yeah, go out and do that. We had a lot of fun doing that. If you ever
Kaylin
stay at
did
Fort
the,
Wilderness,
Beautiful Sun,
from
Tangled Sun before.
She did Stitch one time. That was outstanding. This was 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
She was 12. If you've ever stayed at Fort Wilderness, this is
That's
big at Fort Wilderness.
100%.
Yeah.
Bring chalk.
Yep. Bring chalk. Find some fun molds and make, popsicles. You can go. I pretty much can guarantee you can probably go somewhere and find some Disney shaped molds. Whether they're
sure.
candy or ice or whatever they may be, order them on Amazon. You can make fun little candies. We have some different molds that, like, during Christmas, I know, like, stockings and things. Like,
Yeah.
Lacey will whip up some different chocolate concoctions and make, little treats and stuff out of that. So that's real fun. You can bring the scent of Disney parks into your home.
Yes, you can.
Now, not only can you do that with some wonderful candle companies, right? Online, you can also make some of your own. Right?
Yeah.
What
that's
like
true.
if you wanted a poly scent, what kind of stuff do you get?
Coconut and pineapple.
Boom.
It
Done.
smells just like it.
Spray
I
some
feel like.
spray some suntan lotion up your nostrils. Right? That would work.
Yep.
Vanilla, cinnamon. I know that's not necessarily a summer vibe, but it is kind of that Main
No,
Street
that's
confectionery
true.
vibe. Pop some popcorn.
I'm hungry
Right?
now.
You can go ahead and make your own Disney snacks, right? Have we done that?
Oh,
What are some of your favorites? Right?
Multiple times. I think my favorite is the tachos from Woody's Lunchbox. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And you can go out to Amazon, or you can go to Target, you can go to some local stores, and you can find Ashley Crafts books, right? And they're the unofficial cookbooks to Walt Disney World. We have all of them. There's some for Universal. She has some awesome treats in there. She has some awesome recipes in there. A lot of them are true recipes.
Right.
They take a lot to make, but they taste amazing.
yeah.
If you wanted a couple quick shortcuts to make your life a little easier at home, you can take frozen pineapple. You can go ahead and blend it with vanilla ice cream. You're going to get kind of an at-home makeshift Dole Whip.
Oh.
Right? You can go buy super pretzels.
Yeah.
Boom, you've got a Mickey pretzel.
That's
Close your
true.
eyes. Pretend it's a different shape.
Yeah.
Buy some plastic cheese. You're set. That's real easy to do. And then really, if you wanted, you could go ahead and buy frozen tater tots. You could buy canned Hormel chili or something.
Yeah.
You could buy some shredded cheese, and you can make your own tachos at home,
Yep.
like Rhonda's saying, right? Finally, it was Lacey's 13th birthday. What do we do for her 13th birthday that we now own? You remember we set up out back? Projector.
Oh yeah.
So for Lacey's 13th birthday,
forgot about
she wanted
that.
a big sleepover. And we set up like a little photo booth inside and got props, and they all took photos and were fancy. And then we bought a projector and a screen that we can set up out back in our yard because they wanted to watch the Taylor Swift the Eras tour that Disney Plus released. And so these are super affordable.
Yes.
Right? Nobody's saying you got to go get some huge high-def projector that costs thousands of dollars.
No.
Most likely, you can get a screen and projector on Amazon for under $100 to $150.
I just started to say, I think I spent just, under $100 for all this. And then, the only thing you'll want is like, unfortunately, with summer and bugs and stuff, you'll just want some tiki torches or some not sunscreen, but the bug spray.
Yeah. Yeah, just bring, Disney does these movies under the stars every night at the resorts. You're basically doing the same thing.
Yep.
Like those tiki torches, you got a poly vibe.
Yep.
You can hang these screens from anywhere. We've done it before. We've just hung it on the garage with some of those 3M removable hooks.
Yep.
And we set up chairs in the driveway and watched movies. And it's such a great way to bring that Disney feeling home. If you really want to take it to the next level, go ahead and watch Happily Ever After. Right? Go ahead and stream that from YouTube or whatever. Put it on the projector. Buy some glow sticks. Get out your bubble wands. We got a couple of those. Wear your Mickey ears, right? Set up your chairs. Get sparklers. Set up string lights. Like whatever you want. Pop that popcorn. Get your favorite Disney snacks that we talked about earlier that you've already made at home. And you've got an incredible movie night. Just like you're at a resort, right?
I know.
Let's move on to the second
M. Now.
Because now you need a summer movie marathon.
Yeah.
So you've got the projector set up out back, right? And you want to watch some summer movies. We went ahead and highlighted what I think are some of the best. First, all these on Disney Plus. The first one, you could literally spend all summer watching it. We had to go with the TV series.
Yes.
And it is the number one thing to watch during summer.
Of course, because there's 104 days.
4 days of summer vacation.
Yeah, which is Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
And they had
whole
a
new
season out. That's
10
super
new
cool.
episodes.
Yep.
We started watching. We watched about half of them.
Yep.
They're outstanding. Phineas and Ferb is literally about two kids with huge imaginations who, have to pass time during summer.
Yep.
Have we talked about, or I've never really looked into it. We love the show. We've seen them all, but I never dug deep into Phineas and Ferb. Is it all really happening? Or is it an illusion of one of their imaginations?
I have no idea. I wouldn't.
I can't remember if it was ever answered.
But everybody thinks I'm like Candace because Jeremy. And every time my coworker hears me say Jeremy, she thinks of Candace.
Yeah.
And then she said I kind of look like Candace because of my hair.
A little bit. I wonder that.
Anyways.
I don't know that there's been, I'm sure there's been deep dives or somebody's figured it out, but
I'm sure.
I kind of feel that it's all in Phineas's head and none of it actually occurs. Would you like that or would you hate that? I actually prefer it because it shows what the true imagination of a child can do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
So I actually think it's kind of cool.
I wouldn't be mad because I think it's funny. I think Candace is hysterical, always trying to bust him.
Yeah, she is. But again, all of that could be played out. Heck, it could be Candace's fantasy. It could be her imagination that plays this out every day. Who knows? All right. Next up, what do you think?
Well, I can't wait till it comes to Disney Plus, and it's gonna probably be a while. But Lilo and Stitch, the animated, of course. But oh my gosh, I cannot wait for that live action
to come. I think we're around the 90-day mark until it comes available for streaming rentals. Or no, I'm sorry. I think we're 45 on streaming rentals and around 90 days on streaming services.
Okay.
So hopefully that's true. Or I could be way off, but it's in Hawaii. It's Lilo and Stitch. Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
So good.
What's another one? Again, talk about that Hawaiian Polynesian culture. It screams summer.
Moana.
Perfect. Moana 1, Moana 2.
Yeah.
Whatever you like. The next one, I kind of snuck this in a little bit.
That's a good one.
It's so good. And this is a great movie to watch if you've never seen it.
Camp Rock.
Yeah.
Because it's a summer camp where a lot of kids have to go to and stuff or want to. I mean, and then you've got music and it's the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, who doesn't love?
Right?
Are there people who actually don't like the Jonas Brothers?
Did you say are there?
Yeah.
I would hope.
Dislike them. You don't have to like them. You don't have to say, I love the Jonas Brothers. I see everything they do. I listen to everything they put out. That's fine. But they seem like 3 of the most down-to-earth, cool dudes ever, right? So,
really
you got them in there. Did you do summer camp growing up? Did you ever go to summer camp? You went to like Bible camp or something, right? Virtual Bible school or something?
No,
Not virtual,
wasn't
but Bible
that,
school.
but
What'd you do?
It was.
Tell me what a young Rhonda Stein did in Florida in the summers growing up.
Something to do with camps and stuff. Church camps.
Did you enjoy them?
Of course.
How do you know? You don't even remember that you did them.
Well, there was just always stuff going on at church and stuff. So I think.
You did a lot of traveling during the summer too, right? Because you guys travel across country. Yeah. I've heard you went to Hawaii, but I know that wasn't with your family.
No, but it was. It was in June. It was in June. It was
so you did a summer trip to Hawaii.
Yeah,
you guys
because
traveled across country in the camper, right?
Yeah, all out west.
Did you do that?
I hiked the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, so that's what your summers were filled with. Not bad.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Did you go to camp?
I did. Every year I did Mason-Dixon basketball camp with Morgan Wooten. That was a ton of fun. You went for a week stay over basketball camp at Mount St. Mary's College. And there was no AC in the dorm rooms. You stayed in dorms. There's no AC.
Oh,
there was no AC anywhere that you went. Except maybe the dining hall. And we played in gyms with no AC. They built these field houses. They were these giant white domes that had basketball courts in them. But they were like tennis court material, and I think they could convert them for whatever they wanted. And we played a bunch in there, and there was no AC, and it was this giant heat-containing dome.
I'm like, that sounds awful.
It was awful, but we had the best time.
That's good.
One of the final years, me and one of my good friends at the time, David King, went. And Mount St. Mary's is obviously a private religious school. And they do have dorm rooms for, like, I guess, priests or something. I don't know. Those have AC. The last year I ever went, for whatever reason, I think the camp became so big, Dave and I actually got placed in one of those rooms.
Oh.
So
were
that
you
was
loving
super cool.
it?
Yeah, but it was, do you remember, we actually kind of had, do you remember the dressers? They're made of wood. I feel like there was an 80s, 90s things, but it was almost like, how would you describe it? Like slats of wood. So it was, you know what I mean? You'd almost have spaces where stuff could technically leak through the top is what I'm trying to get at.
Uh-huh.
I spilled a soda. And it went all over all my clothes. And that was like day 2.
Oh my
long.
gosh.
Yeah. So, and then I did karate camp. I did karate camp a couple years. The best part about karate camp.
Kid?
I was a karate kid. And the best part about karate camp, this was a week long, again, stay over. Don't remember where it was, but on the last night, it was black belts versus underbelts.
Okay.
And we went out at, I want to say 10, 11 p.m., all around this campus, wherever it was. We were allowed to have water balloons. The black belts were allowed to have, I can't remember what they're called. They're bamboo swords, basically. You used them to practice with. And it was basically a giant capture the flag game. So we were allowed to take them out because we could actually throw and use water balloons, but they had to get close enough to us to tap us with a sword to make us go out. And it was last team standing, and it was basically capture the flag.
Did it hurt?
No, because they were like, I mean, sometimes, yes, you'd get the guy that would come and just whack the living life out of you. But yeah, it was so much fun. And what made it so much more fun when you're a kid, you know, you're doing this at midnight. Like, it just seems wrong. Like, you're not allowed to do it. It was so awesome. Final movie, I think any seaside town movie, friendship, Vespas. What is it?
Luca. Yeah. You love that movie.
I love that movie.
It's a good movie. I just don't love it, I think, like you do.
Luca is my Elemental to you, I think.
Oh, I do like Elemental a lot.
I absolutely love Luca.
That's awesome.
And then, each of those, of course, you made your movie snacks earlier. You can pair them up. Do your Dole Whip with Lilo and Stitch or something, you know. Make a nice Hawaiian drink or something to go with it. Enjoy those. All right, we're going to move on to E. This is an interesting one that I think sounds like a lot of fun. And as we go through these lists, I would like to maybe try and do some of these.
Okay.
It's E. And E is going to be to explore the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might not be able to make it to World Showcase, right?
Yeah.
Because you're at home. So what you're going to do instead is each week you're going to set a region from the World Showcase, right?
Okay.
So maybe your first week of summer, you say, you know what, we're going to start with Canada.
Okay.
You're going to watch a Canadian Disney film, Brother Bear, right off the top of the head, right? You're going to cook a traditional dish, like you're going to make poutine that week or something.
Look at you.
You can play music
Why
from
don't
that
you
country.
Do this, then?
Whether it's actual Canadian music or whether it is
You just ask Alexa
Disney.
to play anything.
Oh, yeah. Say, Alexa, play Canadian music. See what she comes up with.
Canadian indie mix from Spotify.
Well, if that doesn't say summer, I don't know what does. I don't even know who this is. It's pretty good, though. All right, Alexa, stop. So you do that, and maybe you even we'll go to another country. Well, you could learn French Canadian, I suppose. But, maybe you learn some language from that region or culture. Right?
Just hello.
Well, no, they speak French Canadian, a lot of them, so you could speak French Canadian.
Right, but hello, learn those words.
Okay, then go to Mexico. Hola.
Yeah.
Go to China.
But I'm just saying, that's a lot of learning.
It is, but you got 104 days of summer vacation. You got a lot of time, right?
We don't.
Yeah, the kids are not going to enjoy that portion of it, so you can leave it out. I used to hate when my parents took me to Epcot growing up and made me go learn in Epcot. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
I'm a child on vacation. I do not want to learn, but you're going to this summer. So, yeah, that's what you could do. You got all these world showcases. Which do you think would be your favorite to do?
That's what I was just thinking.
I'm trying to immediately think of the film first. Like, personally, I would probably like to do France. Do Ratatouille.
Okay.
Right? Because I love that movie.
And that's good.
Cook maybe Ratatouille or find another French dish that you could make.
Yeah.
Learn a couple French
we
words.
tried Ratatouille before, I feel
We did
like.
make it once. It was pretty good.
It was.
It's a lot of vegetables. I could have really used some meat in it, if I'm being honest. I wish they would have layered steak in between maybe the zucchini and the squash, and it would have been much better. But yeah, maybe do those types of things. Learn a couple French words. Get a beret. I don't know. Be a mime. I think mimes are inherently
I
French.
would want China.
China?
Like
Let's go to Mulan.
some spring rolls.
Yep,
Yeah.
spring rolls.
I don't know. Like,
All right. Let's do one.
I'm
Let's do one this
hungry.
weekend. We're gonna end with R to finalize our summer and reimagine. If you never listened to Theme Park Shuffle, I apologize because you missed out on Logan and David, who have some of the coolest theme park ideas ever. I also contributed some. Not quite as good. Not quite as good, but we never meant to end Theme Park Shuffle. It just kind of ended. And maybe it's something I hope we can get back to at some point.
Yeah.
To be honest, I could see us bringing back Theme Park Shuffle when Logan and David's daughter and son are a little bit older.
Yeah.
Because of based on timing. And there were a lot of times we wanted to actually get together and try and do episodes together in the same room. And it's just really hard. I don't know if it's something we'll bring back or not. I've talked about bringing it back as a host only and swapping people in and out with David and Logan. So they would be permanent fixtures. I would be the moderator.
That would be cool.
And every month we would have a guest, like we did with Brian Oakley one time, who would come on and do a ride or whatever. So here's where I'm going with all of this. You're going to sit with your family, your friends, whatever you want, and become Imagineers yourself, right?
That would be cool.
You can start with designing a brand new ride for your favorite movie.
Yeah.
You could reimagine a ride.
Yeah.
Whether it's simply saying, let's take something and just make it a little bit better and keep most of the theming and everything the same, or let's take something and completely revamp it the way they did with Splash Mountain into Tiana's. So have some fun with that.
Yeah. That would be cool.
You can, if you're an artistic family or you're artistic in your family, someone is, you can even draw up sketches of it. Like Logan would sometimes put together some graphical overlays of some of the ideas he came up with. Like when he did the Encanto house in Morocco and he overlaid the Encanto casita on top of Morocco buildings that already pre-existed, and it was almost perfect. And so putting things like that together are a lot of fun. If you are a really, really dorky family, you can each put together a presentation and then you can vote on which ride would be best to go in Disney World,
that
right?
would be cool, yeah.
So just a lot of fun things to kind of occupy summer and find things to do. If you can't make it to Disney, of course, sometimes you can, and I think it's fun there. Well, is there anything else you'd add as far as just the summer activities? A lot of these you could take, for me, when we go and sit at our amenity center by the pool, it can definitely give you that feel that you're at a resort or a hotel.
Oh, 100%.
You know, we're very lucky. We have a beautiful
100%.
amenity center.
Yes, we do.
It's got like that little mushroom fountain thing for kids and a zero entry. We've got a lap pool. We've got a slide. We've got a lot of seating and some other stuff going on there.
There's some newer umbrellas. So
Because
Jeremy, every time he goes, it's so good for him to sit under a umbrella.
I have to.
It helps me keep him
out
there longer.
Yeah.
So that means I get to go and stay longer.
Yeah. For somebody who hates the heat, I don't know if moving to Florida was the best idea, but that's why we have things like this, right?
Well, yeah, but what else would you do? Would you still be in Maryland? What would you
No, my plan had always been to move to one of the Carolinas.
do you want to move there?
I do not.
Why?
No, I don't want to be more than 2 hours from Disney.
Oh.
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't move more than 2 hours away from a Disney theme park, and most specifically Walt Disney World, for the rest of my life, unless I had to, for some reason.
And what reason would that be?
I was kidnapped. No, I don't know. No, I'm just saying, like in general.
Yeah.
But the only reason I grew up thinking I'd move to the Carolinas is because my mom's whole family was from there.
Right.
We visited there all the time. Right. Like it just made sense. My parents retired to a Carolina. Like it just made sense. And I like the Carolinas. I actually think they're great.
Yeah.
So,
I do
but
too.
here I am in Florida.
Yeah.
20 years, and I'm still getting used to the heat.
Okay.
Hopefully these help. What World Showcase movie do you want to watch tonight, and then make food from it, and then learn the language from it, and then we're going to build a ride for it
China.
and create a presentation? I don't want to watch Mulan. Can we watch the animated if we're going to do that? I didn't care for the live action. Live action Mulan.
We can watch
should have just been
Snow
a different
White.
film.
We still haven't done
We still have to watch
that.
the live action Snow White. We started it, but then
There's a lot of
teenagers
children.
started entering our home.
We have an open door policy. Anytime the garage is open, you are more than welcome to walk through
For
our
that
house.
people that we know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If our garage is open, don't just walk in, please. If we don't know you, that'd be awkward. You just come out, somebody's in our kitchen, be like, hello? Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about last episode I listened to. Why are you here? The door was open. Rhonda said it's an open door policy.
It is.
If the garage door is
my
open,
children.
come on in. Yeah. 18 and under only, please. and they know our kids. So a lot of summer fun.
Yeah. I'm excited for some summer fun. We have multiple things coming up.
We do. We have a trip to Austin, Texas next week.
Yep. I got to get my
I'm going to
patches.
ask Lucy and Caleb if they will do this exact same thing that we just did with Disney, but for when we get to Austin, because it is going to be hot as all get out there as well.
Is it?
She did send me, they have their regular pool at their apartment, or there is, I think it's like a natural spring pool.
Uh-oh.
And she said she only saw one tiny fish in there, because that was my first question. Are there animals in this water? Because that will help me and decide which location I would like to attend. So go ahead, subscribe. We've got that trip coming up, and we'll talk about it, obviously. We're not going to do an episode on Austin, but we'll talk about it. Lucy's lined up a lot of great food for us. I'm super excited to eat. See Blue October. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But after that, we do have a July 4th weekend.
Yes,
back at Disney with Lucy and Caleb, funny enough. Rhonda is going to make her way down for a girls' weekend to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
She can share some of that about Morgan Wallen. I am taking Kaylin and her boyfriend Talon to Disney the same weekend.
So envious.
I'll probably do an episode review on that with Kaylin.
Yeah.
If she's up for it. We got coming up, we are going to go down there slightly after the new nighttime Starlight Parade starts, as well as Test Track opens. Shortly after a couple days, we're going to go check those out. We've got some awesome trips in August, like that Fort Wilderness camping trip at the cabin, DVC. You know, by the time summer's over.
That's great. It really is. That's it.
All right, let's get to it. Let's get to summering. Hit subscribe. Get brand new episodes every single Tuesday and Friday. And Rhonda and I, of course, we'd be so very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home.